Imagine a world thousands of years ago, a world of towering temples, mysterious gods, and sprawling city-states surrounded by deserts and rivers. Imagine a king, half human, half god, who was so powerful that even the gods feared him. But as he pushed the boundaries of what it meant to be mortal, he found himself searching for something that even power couldn't provide: eternal life. This is the story of Gilgamesh, a tale from ancient Mesopotamia that touches on the deepest human fears and desires. Welcome to the dawn of civilization, to one of humanity's oldest stories, a story that's as haunting and relevant today as it was nearly 5,000 years ago. Our story begins in the ancient city-state of Uruk, in the land of Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, was no ordinary man. He was two-thirds divine and one-third mortal, a combination that granted him supernatural strength, a powerful mind, and ambitions as vast as the Mesopotamian sky. He ruled with absolute power, and some might say absolute ruthlessness. Can you imagine living in a kingdom where the ruler was both loved and feared, a demigod whose very presence made the earth tremble? But here's where the story takes a twist. The people of Uruk, despite being ruled by a hero king, were miserable. Gilgamesh had become tyrannical. He took what he wanted, enforced his will without question, and left his people yearning for relief. They prayed to the gods to intervene, to balance the scales and give Gilgamesh a lesson in humility. And the gods listened. A wild man, created by the gods to be Gilgamesh's equal. Raised by animals with unbridled strength and a wild spirit, Enkidu was designed to counterbalance the king's unchallenged power. When Enkidu and Gilgamesh finally met, it wasn't a friendly introduction. They fought fiercely, each testing the other's strength, the earth itself trembling under their battle. But here's the twist. Instead of becoming enemies, they became the closest of friends. The moment of mutual respect turned into a bond that would change both of their lives forever. Ever had an intense rivalry that somehow turned into the deepest friendship? This is where our story takes off. With a renewed sense of purpose and a friend by his side, Gilgamesh wasn't content to stay within the safety of Uruk's walls. He was destined for greatness after all. Together, Gilgamesh and Enkidu set out on epic adventures that would cement their legends. Their first major journey was to the Cedar Forest, a sacred and dangerous land guarded by Humbaba, a monstrous creature whose very presence was said to instill fear in the bravest of men. Killing Humbaba wasn't just a challenge, it was a rebellion against the gods' will. The air was thick with tension as the two approached the forest. Can you picture it? The massive cedar trees towering above, their branches whispering secrets older than time itself. After a fierce battle, they managed to defeat Humbaba, but the victory was bittersweet. Killing the forest guardian earned the wrath of the gods. It was a warning that they were treading dangerous ground, but neither Gilgamesh nor Enkidu could resist the thrill. Their next encounter came when the goddess Ishtar herself took notice of Gilgamesh. She was smitten and offered him her hand in marriage. But Gilgamesh, with a touch of arrogance, refused her advances, reminding her of her past lovers whom she had treated poorly. Furious at this rejection, Ishtar unleashed the mighty bull of heaven upon Uruk, threatening to destroy the city. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu, working together, defeated the bull, saving their people and reinforcing their status as heroes. Yet their defiance of divine power was pushing the gods' patience to the edge. They had crossed a line, and this time, there would be no escaping punishment. To punish Gilgamesh, the gods decree that Enkidu, his beloved friend, must die. Enkidu falls gravely ill, his strength fading, his body weakening. For days, Gilgamesh watches helplessly as his friend slips away, the man who was his equal, his mirror, his closest bond. Can you feel it? That crushing moment when you realize you can't save someone you love, no matter how powerful you are? When Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh is consumed by grief, guilt, and something more profound: fear. He has confronted the one thing he cannot control: mortality. This fear drives him to set off on a new journey, one far more difficult than any battle or adventure: the quest for eternal life. Gilgamesh was asking the same question we still ask today: is there any way to escape death? He travels to the ends of the earth in search of Utnapishtim, a man who survived a great flood and was granted immortality by the gods. Along the way, Gilgamesh encounters gods, mythical creatures, and numerous challenges that test his resolve. His journey takes him to the edge of the known world, where he finally meets Utnapishtim, who reveals the truth. But what if I told you that Utnapishtim's answer wasn't what Gilgamesh wanted to hear? Utnapishtim explains that immortality is a gift reserved for the gods. No human, not even a king as powerful as Gilgamesh, is meant to live forever. He shares the tale of the flood, a story that would later echo in other ancient texts, and offers Gilgamesh a glimpse of the human limitations that define us all. In one last attempt, Gilgamesh obtains a magical plant that promises to restore youth. But just as he's about to claim his prize, a snake steals it away. The message is clear. Eternal life isn't something that can be taken, stolen, or earned. Imagine the heartbreak, the sense of defeat. All that effort, and the answer was inescapable. He was mortal. Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, not with eternal life, but with wisdom. He understands now that his legacy won't be in living forever, but in leaving behind something meaningful. He looks upon the great walls of his city, the civilization he has built, and sees that these are the true marks of his immortality. In the end, Gilgamesh's journey was one of self-discovery, a quest that stripped him of his arrogance, softened his heart, and revealed to him that human life is precious precisely because it is fleeting. The Epic of Gilgamesh remains one of the most profound stories from the ancient world, a tale that reminds us to live fully, to build something lasting, and to cherish those we love. In seeking immortality, Gilgamesh learned what it means to truly be human. So what legacy do we leave behind? What walls, so to speak, are we building in our lives? Thank you for joining me on this journey through ancient history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more stories from the dawn of civilization. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and remember, it's not how long we live, but what we leave behind that truly matters.